Hello guys and girls, and welcome to a new top 5 comment video. And yeah, we are gonna talk about the top 5 comments of LOGOS. First of all, of course, if it's the first time to the series, I'm trying to do it for all the houses, or I will do it for all the houses, and I'm only talking about the comments because I think, it's true, they are the most common cards. It's in the name basically, and you will find these cards the most in your deck. Like in most decks you buy, and this house is represented, and of course you have the proper set, like some cards are not in every set. You will find them there, perhaps even multiple copies of, so they make the brunt of your deck is going to consist of these common cards, so I want to cover those and not like overall top 10, top 5. You can find this in abundance on YouTube here, but yeah, I just want to focus on the comments because I think these are like the most interesting parts there, because they're the main part of your deck. These are the cards you're most likely going to face, you're most likely going to play. So I want to get a list about what I think these top 5 are. Like I already mentioned, I'm not looking at any metric or whatsoever. This is just my experience playing with them and playing against them. I play Keyforge since the start of the game. I'm here in Germany, hopping around on competitive events. So I like to think of myself as rather experienced, but of course I'm fine with being proven wrong in the comments or something like that. So yeah, this of course, like I said, it's a discussion video. I'm just representing my opinion, and then you can see like if you agree or you have cards I forgot or some places I swapped around and you think differently of. But yeah, let's start this video off. Of course, we are looking at LOGOS, which is my favorite house. Out of all the houses represented so far, I'm a big fan of LOGOS. It is a rather strong house as well. So yeah, that's nice and coincides with it nicely. And yeah, it was my favorite house from the start. When I looked at the first set and looked at what the theme of LOGOS, stuff like that, that's what resonated with me the most. And yeah, I'm glad it's turned out to be such a strong house as well. But yeah, let's look at top 5 comments. Like I said, this is a very strong house, so it was not that easy to get the top 5 because there are a lot of cards which are not in these top 5s, which are still very good and stuff like that, and you can easily swap some places around. But let's start with the number 5, which is Tau Vapors, an action card introduced in Worlds Collide. It has an easy effect, is draw 2 cards and then archive a card. So it's a very simple and easy effect, but I love this card because there's never a bad time to play this card. You have this, you call LOGOS, and if you haven't, you just play this card, you draw 2 cards, you get to archive a card. Obviously, you don't have to archive a card out of the 2 you just drew, but this is an insane, it's insane in efficiency-wise and value-wise and draw power. Like, efficiency basically means how many cards you can play in the game. And with Tau Vapors, you raise that up to a lot. By drawing 2 cards, obviously you can draw more cards to play. Hopefully, of course, some LOGOS cards you want to play. And by archiving card, like from the total of, let's say, 7 cards, if you first play Tau Vapors, you can still archive one of those. So you still get to draw at the end of the turn, so most likely. So yeah, that's why I like Tau Vapors. Is like, you love seeing that multiple times in your deck because it's like never a dead card. It's simple, it's easy, it's great. It's in every card game, drawing cards is awesome, and drawing 2 plus archiving for free is a very great effect. So yeah, I'm a big fan of Tau Vapors, that's why I have it at number 5. And keeping with the drawing theme, because let's be honest, that's like one of the main strengths of LOGOS, we are going to look at the number 4 spot, and the number 4 spot is Mother. Mother is a creature introduced in the first set, Call of the Archons, 5 power robot scientist creature with the effect, do your draw card step, never mind me, refill your hand to 1 additional card. So basically, if you have 1 more on the field, you're not going to draw up to 6 cards at the end of the turn, you're going to draw up to 7. With 2, it's going to be up to 8, and so on and so on. Of course, there's a card in Worlds Collide which is the same effect, which is the Daughter with only 2 power but elusive. So it has like less power, but it has like a protective effect and elusive. So in some scenarios, Daughter might actually be better than Mother, depending on the board and what your opponent has, stuff like that. But I think that in most cases, Mother is going to be better for you, since it's just a stronger presence on the board. It's more difficult to get rid of, even without elusive. Most of the times, your opponent will have to waste 2 or use 2 creatures to fight versus Mother to get rid of it, which is the same with elusive, but you get the additional side effect that like easy removal, like dealing 2 damage to something or stuff like that, doesn't affect Mother right here. So yeah, that's why I think it's like superior version of Daughter. Obviously in some niche scenarios, Daughter might actually be better. So yeah, I can acknowledge that, but yeah, great card. Yeah, you get just to draw an additional card, which gives you more options for future turns, gives you more option for and it's the immediate effect as well, which is great. It's not like this has to survive a turn you played, and the same turn you played it, you get your additional card. And yeah, just open up the options way more. Like it's like a from a 7 cards, like a 1/6 increase of your chance to draw a card, and that's a lot in only 36 card deck. That's by drawing effects, I think, in Keyforge, and since you recycle your deck as well, like, you know, don't lose if you're out of cards. Drawing effects are stronger in Keyforge than in your usual trading card games, be it like Magic, Yu-Gi-Oh, something like that. Yu-Gi-Oh maybe as well, since only 40 cards, but they don't recycle your deck as well. So yeah, that's why I think Mother is a well-deserved 4th spot. It's creature as well, of course, so it can reap. With the 5 power, it can actually get rid of some creatures as well. Like, most likely you don't want to fight with it, since you want to stay it on board. But if your opponent has like a very annoying threat you need to get rid of, it's very easy to use Mother just to get these 5 damage on something, and yeah, get rid of it. And yeah, these are the reasons why I have Mother at the place 4 spot. Obviously, you have multiple copies of this in the deck. It's awesome. You get, you draw a lot of cards at the end of the turn, which is just insane. Like, I saw Double Daughter with Mimic Gale decks, which like draw at the end of the turn 3 cards, and it's just insane how much value they gain out of that. So yeah, that's why I have Mother / Daughter, mainly Mother, at the 4th spot. Now, looking at the 3rd spot, I have the card introduced in Worlds Collide, same as the 5th spot. Is a creature, is Eddie 4x4, or short Eddie. It's an AI scientist creature with 3 power with the play effect archive a card, which is already decent enough, but it has the added effect, which is awesome. Your opponent's keys cost 1 additional Aember for each card in your archives, and this can lead to some insane key prices for your opponent. Since you get to archive already once, so just playing 1 Eddie means the opponent key costs 1 more, which can be very nice. Like, enables Ronnie. This enables like too much to protect and all this good stuff to be useful. And obviously Logos has itself a more archive effect than just the Eddies, and if you have 2 of them on board, you get double the cost and stuff like that. Obviously it's easy getting rid of by just having 3 power and no protective effect. So you want some protection with this thing, be it like taunt creatures like Titan Guardian, or like the hologram of Fallen to Ward and stuff like that, or like stuff to bring it back or back to hand with like Hysteria or Axiom. So always is a card which needs like a bit more support to be like very effective. But other than that, even like if it just dies right away, it like prevents the creature from reaping, since the opponent has to get rid of it. You get to archive a card, so that's nice as well. And yeah, seeing multiple copies of this in your deck is obviously very awesome, just raising the prices higher and higher. I do think personally that like there's 2 scenarios what happens if you raise the price of a key. Either you prevent the opponent from forging, which is most of the times only preferred on a 3rd key, or you force your opponent to spend more of their Aember. So basically, they, quote unquote, they lose Aember, like in theory. Mathematically, they just lose Aember if they have to forge for more. So yeah, that's most of the scenarios better than if Eddie. Like sometimes or sometimes you just want to use it to stack the Aember for the opponent for like a big interdimensional graft, a big too much to protect, or like to enable Ronnie, or like Cutthroat Research, something like that. So yeah, there's a lot of Logos cards. Like I said, this synergizes well with as well. So yeah, that's why I have Eddie at the 4th spot. He's a very, very high sought out card in Worlds Collide. Having multiple copies of in the deck, yeah, really propels it further. Like I said, with all the key cost higher, making higher stuff, preventing key with this is most likely what you only want to do to enable some stuff, or at the last key to not lose, obviously. I think most of the times it's better to like, or the best case scenario is you raise it exactly that high that the opponent has to spend all the Aember he has. Like, let's say he has 9 Aember and he has to spend all of that. So in theory, he lost 3 Aember with that play. I think that's more valuable than just stopping the opponent from forging. Of course, barring is the last key. But yeah, that goes in general for like making key cost higher cards, not specifically for Eddie here, right here. So yeah, now that's on the 1st spot in the top 3. Now going into the 2nd spot, we have our creature in AOA introduced Age of Ascension, the Helper Bot. Obviously, Helper Bot has the same effect as Phase Shift, which is you may play 1 non-Logos card this turn, but this is like the better Phase Shift, since it's just a 1 power creature as well, which can like fight, get rid of elusive, and can just keep reaping and stuff like that. There's like very niche scenarios in which a creature is less useful than a action card, like I don't know, maybe the opponent played the Life Ward and you're not allowed to play creatures, but obviously the same happens with action cards, or your opponent has a Teliga, which like gives them Aember if you play a creature. But barring that, having a creature rather than action with the same effect, it is a play effect as well, so it happens immediately. It's not like it needs to survive something like that. So it's exactly the same as Phase, but being with a creature. And yeah, this card is awesome. Like these out of house, most of the times you see this out of house stuff happen when they need to be on board and they need to reap to enable that or something like that. Helperbot, you just play it out, and you don't actually have to do it like that. One some people forget as well. You don't have to immediately after that. You can play the Helperbot, play all the other Logo stuff, fight a bit, reap a bit, and then play your card. Because this is like it enables you to play one card this turn. You don't have to play it right after this. And yeah, obviously one scenario in which phase shift is better, but that's just because this combination doesn't exist, is with library access, because then you get to draw a card through phase shift and then you get to play another card. That's where phase shift is stronger, but that's mainly only because, I mean, in theory, Helperbot is stronger with library access, so never mind that. But yeah, the Helperbot plus library access you can only get with like legacy shenanigans, so very unlikely. But if that would happen, it would be great, because you pay Helperbot, you get to draw a card, and then at some point in the turn you get to play another card, which isn't from Logos, you draw another card, and go on. But yeah, that's the second spot for you, Helperbot. Great creature overall, just allows you to play cards of a house. I like this card a lot for the versatility. There's a great combos which just start with having a phase shift or a Helperbot in hand and allow you to play cards from different houses. Be it like very simple stuff like the I don't know, the creature from Logos, which lets you look at the opponent's hand plus control the weak. Nice and easy combo already. Looks at the opponent's hands and then you control the weak him and he has to play something else. Or it's a nice combo with like key cheats and other stuff. There's like insane amount of combo potential with just having the Helperbot or the phase shift in hand, which gives you all sorts of combinations of plays. And yeah, the versatility with that makes me think that this card deserves the number 2 spot. The other cards are always nice, but there's not like, they have like not so much variety of use. They're like good at what they're doing, they allow you to draw cards, they allow you to increase key cost, but Helperbot just, or slash phase shift, allow you to just do so much more, and depending on the situation, you can do so many different things, and yeah. That's why I think this card is deserved of the number 2 spot. And now looking at the number 1 spot, I mentioned this card already. Like after it's mentioned, you already think, okay, yeah, that's most likely number 1. Is, I think, the strongest common card in Logos, which is none other than Library Access. On screen right here, you see the old version, this being from Call of the Archons, an action card, which says, for the remainder of the turn, each time you play another card, draw a card. This card was so powerful they had to nerf it, so yeah, now if you get it as legacy or it's introduced in a different set, it reads the same as here, but at the end you have to purge it. Basically why they had to do that is because there were ways, mainly with like just Nepentacede in Untamed, or Nephentacede, I actually don't know how to pronounce it properly. Either way, you got to play it multiple times in one turn. And that just made this card insane. Like, if you play it 2 times in one turn, you get to draw 2 cards for each card you play. It just makes you that you draw through your whole deck, and then the process repeats. You get to play cards, creatures, action cards, you gain Aember through extra Aember, and even after you're done with all of that, like you have an insane turn, draw a lot of cards, got to play a lot of Logos cards, then you still have your hand full of all the cards you didn't got to play, when you have like 2 more insane turns with like your other houses in the deck, which you can still play cards. Library Access, like I said, it was so strong with the old Nephentacede combo that they had to nerf it. It's like one of the 2 cards which they had to nerf. Library Access being one of them, it's just being too strong. I think still after the nerf, it's still the strongest common card in Logos. You need to be fair, you need the proper support. Like, Library Access is not in every deck, it's gonna be insane. You want like your phase shifts, you want your white wormholes to play like multiple cards in a turn. Preferred, you want to have some archiving effects going on as well, so you can like stack up your Logos cards in your archives, get them all to the hand, play your access, draw your whole deck, and yeah, go on from there. Sadly, this card, or like thankfully better said, thankfully this card is limited to 1 to each deck, so there's like, I think there's no way you can have multiple Library Access in a deck, not even with like Legacy Maverick things. I think it's like set you can only have 1 Library Access in a deck, because like I said, if you have 2 of them in a deck, of course the same can just happen, where you can play 2 of them in one turn and then the insanity starts once again. To be fair, I think the nerf was a bit too harsh. I think they had to do something where they had to make it that you can only play 1 of them each turn, but I think like they made a change for the second set in Age of Ascension, and they introduced a nice keyword there as well, which was alpha. I think just giving this alpha would have been great, because then you can only play 1 of them each turn as well, because obviously you can play another alpha card then, and it would still allow you to like draw it later in the game as well. Like you play an early, like now, if you have Library Access in Herd, you need to make sure you get the most out of it, because you can only play it once in a game, barring you get like Legacy with like the Universal Recycle Bins shenanigans going on, where you can get it back from being exiled. But now you're kind of pressured when you have this card to like get wait, do keep holding on to it, you keep holding on to it because you want to get the most out of it. If it just had alpha, you can still like play it and like in a semi-good scenario, and because you know, okay, I'm gonna draw it at some point as well, and I get another chance of getting like this dream Library Access going on. So yeah, I think just giving this thing alpha would have still nerfed it to the extent it needed to be, and it would still made it like I think it's still the great card, and I still put it at number 1 obviously. But with being purged and you're only getting to play it once in a game, you're really pressured to get the one chance you have needs to be the most out of it, especially in decks which like are centered about library access. But yeah, this is number 1 spot. Like I said, after pre-nerf, of course, number 1. After the nerf, I think it can be, yeah, it's definitely debatable if that deserves a number 1 spot or something lower. So, but I still like this card a lot. I had some decks which this just went insane on, and there might be some personal bias there, but it's still my number 1 on this list. But yeah, this concludes the top 5 video for Logos, showing you all the comments I think which are the best. Of course, let me know in the comments, how do you see these lists? Do you agree? Do you disagree? Do you think these are worthy of the top 5? Do you think some space needs to be swapped around? And do you think that Library X actually, that is the nerf too strong? Or is it good as it is? Do you think Alpha would have been better? Or do you have some other idea how this thing could have been nerfed and which would have made it more... still better than just being purged at the end after playing it. But yeah, this is all for this video, of course. If you did enjoy, leave a like, comment, subscribe, you know the deal. Hit me on Twitter, Facebook, all the links are in the description. And yeah, I will see you another time. Ciao.